What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I am building a micro home in Sulani and I built it for a mermaid. That's what I had in mind for the storyline for this tiny little home. And yeah, I just really felt like building something in Sulani, something summery and something cute and very colorful. So that's why I went with the storyline that it's for a mermaid, because in my mind, mermaids are just really colorful people, if that makes any sense. Like they like colors and like, yeah, I don't know. That's just the vibe that I had in mind for this one. And I actually use the tiny living option, like the tile count restriction. So this build is only, I think, 31 tiles in total. You can see it at the top of the screen right there. I only used 31 tiles for this little build. So it's very small and it definitely only fits one sim. There's only one single bed in here. So yeah, it's definitely only meant for a single sim. And in the beginning, I was thinking of making this lot off the grid. I thought that would be fun and that would definitely make a lot of sense for a build on a lot like this, like kind of on a tiny little island. And I don't really understand how else you would be able to, like get water, like fresh water and electricity and stuff like that. But yeah, like I mentioned, I was thinking of making it off the grid at first, but I decided against it. But because the way off the grid works right now in the game, it kind of is a little bit, I don't know, a little bit difficult to work with in my opinion. And it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, like which items work and which items don't work when you use the off the grid lot trait. So I don't know, I just didn't really want to bother. I didn't really want to deal with it. So I decided to just not make it off the grid and kind of pretend that this house is self-sufficient in a way, that there is a way to get fresh water and electricity and stuff and power to this house. I was just kind of pretending that there was some green way that that could be achieved for this house. Now, I have to say, if eco lifestyle was already out when I was building this house, I would definitely have made it off the grid, because that would make perfect sense for this house, like I mentioned. And the items that we're getting with eco lifestyle, like the wind generator, the what's that called? The windmill or the wind turbine or something like that, and then the water items as well that like do something, I don't know what it's called, but it collects dew basically and rain and stuff like that. And yeah, it would just, and the solar panels, of course, I would definitely have used like that roofing that comes with eco lifestyle, that solar panel roofing. That would make a lot of sense for this house. So if I had the chance, or if I had that pack, if it was already out by now, I would have definitely used that that opportunity and those items that we're getting with that pack. But yeah, like I mentioned, the pack is not out yet, so I couldn't do it. Same goes for the landscaping, by the way. I don't know if you've heard, but the patch that we're getting before the pack comes out next week or in 2 weeks, or pretty much it's Sunday, so like 9 days from now we'll get a patch that fixes the annoying little glitch with landscaping where your plants and flowers kind of jump up to the height of the foundation when you place it too close to the foundation. And they fixed that. So what I do all the time right now is get rid of the foundation, do my landscaping, and put the foundation back under the house. But when the patch comes out, it's not really necessary to do that anymore, because the plants and flowers won't jump up to the height of the foundation anymore as quickly as that happens right now. So I'm really excited for that. And we get the opportunity to all place doors and windows, and I don't know, maybe I'm even more excited about that than about like ladders. Well, maybe that's a lie. I don't know. I don't know, because if we had ladders, I would have definitely tried to make this into some sort of loft in a way. It would be very small, but that would have been cool too. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is I'm really, really excited for the new pack and the new patch that we're getting, the new update. But yeah, that doesn't really have anything to do with the build right now, but I just kind of wanted to share my yeah, just my thoughts about it, and just want to share that I'm really excited about the stuff that we're getting with the pack and the patch. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just really excited about it and I can't wait. But back to the build, you can see that I was fiddling around with the landscaping. I use a lot of debug items because Island Living comes with a lot of really cool debug items, world objects that, well, obviously really fit in with the world because they come with the pack. But for this house, I kind of really wanted to blend in with the background because it's really small. And I was also thinking that the mermaid, the sim that's living here, is kind of hiding the fact that she is a mermaid. In my storyline, it's a woman, but it could be a guy, it doesn't really matter. It could be any gender. But yeah, in my storyline, I was just imagining that she is kind of hiding the fact that she's a mermaid. It's a secret, but she also has a quote unquote normal life. Like she is probably, I thought it would be cool if she was involved in the conservationist career. So she is kind of doing everything in her power to help the environment and clean up the ocean and the wildlife and the sea life and stuff like that, because obviously that's really important to her, because she's a mermaid, but also because it's just really important to her in general. So she does have a quote unquote normal life where she doesn't tell anyone that she's a mermaid, and she just does her job, and she has a job and she works every day. But then she lives here in this tiny little house, and then whenever she's at home, she can just really be herself and jump in the water. And that's why I picked this lot for her as well, because it's that tiny little island lot where there's only one lot on in this area. So there is no neighboring lots, no neighboring homes or anything. So she could I was just pretending that not a whole lot of people come by and swim around here. So she can just easily swim around in the ocean and be the mermaid that she is. And I thought that'd be really cool that she's kind of hiding the fact, but also has a quote unquote normal life on the side, if you will, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's kind of the life or the storyline for the sim that I was imagining for this tiny little house. And I was definitely having a lot of fun with the colors in this house. I was using lots of blues and oranges and pinks, and also some pops of yellow, and I thought that was really cute. And then for the flooring, I went for a gray swatch, and so there are some like pops of gray to kind of make it a little bit more, yeah, just tone it down a little bit in a way. But I also wanted to use a lot of bright colors. So there is a lot of pastel-y colors. You can see that on the swatch of the bed and the swatch of the chair next to the bed. I kind of went for those pastel colors, and I think they look really cute together. It's really like, if I were a little girl and I could pick the colors for my bedroom, I would definitely go for a mermaid themed bedroom, and then I would definitely pick the colors that I use in this build. So in a way, I could kind of just make my childhood dreams come true and make the little house of my dreams that I would want if I was a little girl, or even right now, really. Because it would be so much fun to live in a house like this, like on a little island in Sulani. I think this world is so pretty. I always have so much fun whenever I'm building in Sulani because I think the world is so beautiful. Like, I love it so much. But yeah, basically I just gave her a whole lot of shelves here in the kitchen because there's not a whole lot of storage space anywhere else in this house. So I kind of gave her these open shelving items that I thought went really well with the build, and I didn't really want this house to be too neat. I kind of wanted it to be cluttered, but because it is a micro home, there's not a lot of space to put clutter like on the floor or anything. So I just decided to clutter up the kitchen with some shelves so I could put a whole bunch of random little items and knickknacks in the kitchen. Here you can see that I placed a mini fridge, and I placed that rack with some dishes on top of there, and I already thought that that would give a problem, but it did. So I had to delete it in the end. So when you download this house, that little dish rack will be gone because it blocked my sim from being able to use that corner counter, so she couldn't cook on there. By the way, it seems that a lot of people don't know that Sims can actually cook on those counter corners. So So if you have a free corner counter, you don't need another free counter for your Sims to cook on. So for a lot of people that don't know that, maybe that's a handy little trick, because that means you can make your kitchens literally a whole counter smaller. So for tiny homes and micro homes like this, that is yeah, a very neat little trick. Well, it's not really a trick, but if you didn't know, then that's a handy little tip for you, I guess. But here you can see I just cluttered up the space with some bookshelves and stuff. I also placed an actual functioning bookshelf right by the front door, because I did want to make sure that there was a bookshelf and stuff, because there's no TV in here and no computer, because I was thinking that the Sim, maybe she has a laptop. I mean, you could easily place down a laptop on the little dining table in the house. I decided not to do that. I was thinking about it for a minute, but then I decided against it. I don't know why really, but it was just, it's your choice. I mean, you could easily place a laptop there, but there is no TV. So I did want to make sure that there is a functioning bookshelf in the house. So there is one. And then outside, I just placed a nice little seating area, because I was thinking that if you live here, you're probably going to spend the majority of your time outside probably. So I kind of made it into a living space and also a tiny little dining space with that picnic table. And I placed a barbecue beside that picnic table. You can see me do that right there. And I also placed down some planter boxes, because I was thinking that it would make sense if you're living on this lot to kind of grow your own vegetables and your own fruits. I think that would make a lot of sense. And you could see me do that right there, but I placed down a little yoga mat as well. So I made sure that there is some skill building items here on this lot that I thought would make sense for this little house. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this house. We're coming up to the end and we're almost going on into screenshots. So I really hope you enjoyed this build. You can download it off the gallery if you want. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. My username on there is @Simmarysims as well. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!